we got a fun video for you today. This one is all about Empire Break's newest play instrument for drums from Native Instruments. And not getting paid to make the video, but they sent me this software for free. I've got affiliate links and all that. So make sure you click those if you're interested in this one. And this is a really great sounding set of drum loops, let's just say. And it's more than just loops because it's individual hits and you can make your own beats and all that. But the loops that it comes with are loops that you can drag into your project as MIDI, or you can just control with a pad. You can just play the beat and that's it. So very easy to use interface. I won't go too much into the play interface in this video because I've got other videos where I do that. I've got one video on Butch Vig drums where I really go into the details of all of these different settings. They're all the same. That's what's so great about these play series instruments, is that how to use the different drum sounds, how to change the sounds, how to change each individual sound, how to work with the patterns, how to work with the effects that are built in, and how to work with the macros. So make sure you watch my Butch Vig video if you want to get deeper into the software itself. And then in this video, I opened up the software this morning and I got inspired right away, came up with a little idea, and I thought, you know what I'm going to do instead of showing them, just the drums in this one, is I'm going to actually build a little idea from scratch. We're going to use some horns. We're going to use that new guitar, Electric Mint, that just came out. I've got a video on that as well. And we're just going to have some fun. Do some arranging tips, because I think a lot of you come to my channel not just to hear what plugins sound like, but to actually get music making tips. We're going to use the machine, but this stuff would apply to any software really. So let's get into it, give you those tips, especially if you're not a keyboardist. This one you're going to really want to watch if you're not a keyboardist. And even if you are, you're going to learn some stuff as well. So let's have some fun with it. Here we go. So Empire Breaks, this one is geared towards the boom-bap sound of the 90s. And the drum breaks that they've recorded, the drum sounds that they've recorded, are all done with real kits, and then they give you the processing afterwards. And they've done some processing, but they also give you the ability to process further with these macros down here at the bottom. So not a machine expansion like we're used to. This is a play series one that runs inside Kontakt, and I think a lot of people will appreciate an alternative to using just the machine kits and stuff like that. So as you can see here, we've got a bunch of letters, and these letters are all corresponding to things like kick, got two kicks, snare roll, clap, there's close hat, and then we got open hat there. Percussion. Ooh, a different type of hi-hat. I love that. Tom, tom, clap, crash, tom. And then a ride. So we got all the essentials in there, and then a whole bunch of kits. So I'll just show you what kind of kits you got in there, and then we'll get into making some music. So let's just kind of play through some of these. I'm going to switch up the octave on my machine here so that I can access the patterns, because not only do you have individual sounds way down here on the keyboard, but if we go up the keyboard, we're going to get to the actual patterns themselves. So if I click on this button right here, we'll see the patterns I'm triggering. There's the main one, next one, variations, another variation, and then we got fills. And let's listen to a couple more of these patterns. Oh yeah. Love the swing on that one. And let's go to another one. That. And of course you can use that beat with any drum kit. That's a classic beat right there. Somebody tell me what song that's from, because that's probably from 100 songs, but it's got to be from something we all know. 123 beats per minute. Ooh, that's kind of fun. Let's see, 123. Oh, love it. I'm I'm not going to go through any more of the drum kits. You get the idea. Lots of variation. I'm sure you can hear all of those kind of samples on the website. But now let's get into making some music with this. So probably about the third kit I loaded up was this Like a Tiger kit. I just played that beat. Now it's inspired instantly. So what I'm going to do with this one is take this pattern right here, and I'm going to click this little button, which allows me to drag and drop the pattern onto my track in Machine. You can do this in any DAW. Now when I press play, we can hear it. And I've got my swing set to 35%. Let's hear it with swing at 0. And I just liked that one at 35%, so let's put that back. So let's see if we can find another pattern that's going to work with this. Oh, I like that. We got some claps, a little bit of that snare rolls in there. Let's take that one. We're going to use this for our second part of our little idea, but we're going to take that and we're going to take this hi-hat and we're going to move that to a ride cymbal. So I am just going to select all of those, and then I'm just going to drag this up to, I think it's the E flat is my ride. Okay, there's a fun little fill. Now here's an interesting way you can work with these fills. I'm going to drag and drop the MIDI onto this pattern, and watch what happens. It's going to replace the one that I've got in there, which is not great. But I'm going to go like this, Command C, and then I'm going to go undo, and then we're going to paste this one in, and we'll just make it fit. There we go. And then I probably want that on the last 2 beats of this little fill, the last 2 beats of this pattern. So let's get rid of that. Move it over. There we go. There we go. So maybe we also want this little beginning thing to start with a crash. So let's go, there's our crash. Put that guy right there. There we go. And we can always go over to my Empire Breaks thing, and I can go to my kit itself. Let's go to the kit, and we're gonna go to the ride right here. More of this kind of stuff in that Butch Vig video, but it's just some obvious things. I want to pan this. It just feels wrong to not have the ride cymbal panned in some way. So I'm going to click on that one right there, and we are going to pan this a little bit to the right. And then maybe we'll put the crash cymbal a little bit to the left. There we go. So all the regular stuff we can do with this, we can increase the levels, we can put in individual effects on every one of these sounds. All right, drums are sounding pretty good. Let's go over to our next instrument, which is going to be our bass. For this one, I'm going to go to Sounds. I'm going to go to Burnt Hues, and I'm going to go to Bass. And then let's have a listen to some of these sounds in here. And I already tried this Johnny bass out. I love it. Let's give it a go here. So click on keyboard mode. And that C is just a little too low. So I went up to the key of E minor, but not any regular E minor, actually E Dorian. So we're gonna go to E Dorian here. And I'm just gonna go to modes, and we'll go to Dorian. And the Dorian mode, just, I've talked about it a lot, just means that it's a minor mode, but it's got that one sharp note. And it's gonna work really nice with this funky music. So there we go. Okay, so I got a little bass line idea. We're gonna put that in. And I realize this isn't Boom-Bap, but who cares? These drums sound amazing, and you're gonna be able to make all sorts of styles of music with this drum library. So let's add another instrument. Next thing I'm going to do is put in some horns, because some people were asking about horns a while ago. Let's go there. And there it is. All right. So what we're going to do with this one, we're going to do a bit of a chord hack. I've got a Neo Soul video I made a couple years ago where I talk about using chord mode in Machine to get more complex chords than you can maybe think of on your own. And we're going to use that little technique here to stack some of these chords with the chord player in Machine. So I click on chords, and all we're going to do is leave it on 1, 3, 5. But we're going to stack them like this. It's pretty cool, hey? That's just triads, but we're stacking triads. So watch that video if you want to learn more about that kind of stuff. So I've got my session horns loaded, and I'm going to switch my articulation. For this one, we're going to go with this F sharp so that we get the staccato. Later on, we're going to use this one to get our 2-beat forte, piano, crescendo. So it's going forte, and then gets piano, and then crescendoing up over 2 beats. That's what that means right there. So we need this F sharp 1 to trigger this articulation at the beginning of our little song. So if I need that, I need to find where that F sharp is on my machine and just put that in. So I can go over to keyboard mode, and you can see I'm not going to be hitting that note until I get to an F sharp. So I can see I'm on F sharp there. Let's just go down an octave till we get to, there it is, F sharp -1. There's my F sharp right there. You can see I'm switching between the different articulations as I move through the pads. So F sharp 1, that's my staccato. Let's just record that in. And then I'm going to quantize that so it starts right at the beginning of this chunk. So then later on, if I have a totally different articulation in another section of the song, it's going to switch it back to staccato for this intro. Now that I've got that, I'm going to go back to chord mode, go up a couple octaves, and make sure I'm in E Dorian. Yes. So we're going to go like this. Bop, bop, bop. Bop, bop, bop. Sounds pretty cool, hey? I'm just trying stuff. I'm not even thinking about necessarily what I'm doing from a music theory point of view. So this is going to be perfect for a lot of you out there who aren't, trained in music theory. Next thing we can do with our horns, if we want to make this a little bit more complicated or rich, we could try a couple things out. One thing we could do is take the bottom notes. Let's go up to right there. And then, which other ones am I missing? Shift and select these ones. And then I'm going to hold Option or Alt on a PC, drag this down an octave so that we get an even lower harmony. Now we're getting that baritone sax in there, which sounds pretty awesome. So this is what we're playing right now. We're playing an E, G, B, D, and an F sharp. So we're basically playing an E minor 9 chord with a 7. But we're doing that just by kind of mashing your fingers against the machine in chord mode. Next, let's put in some electric mint. Just have a video on this one. Make sure you check that one out. With this one here, I am going to change the song. I already found a song that works nicely, and that's either if I click on Funk, I'm going to go to Dr. Funk or Funky Magic. Both of these ones work beautifully with this little idea. So let's double click on Dr. Funk, and let's go to keyboard mode, take it up the octave. I'm going to put it back to chromatic mode here because I just want to be able to play through all of these different patterns and stuff, and I don't want to have to deal with the scale. So let's go back to C1. Oh, that sounds great. That might be it. So let's just go to Contact and we'll find a good kind of electric piano sound. Mark 1. Okay, that's fun, but it's not super useful if you don't play keys. So let's see if we can give you another little hack with this one. So we set it to E mode, Dorian, And then we're going to go take that up the octave. And then we're going to set this to 1, 3, 5, 7. And look at this. We can change the position now of chords in Machine. This is a new thing. So all that means is it's taking a minor 7 chord, and then it's moving it up, moving the bottom note up an octave, inverting the chord, which is kind of fun. So it's a new thing that we can do on Machine. And then I'm going to set it to keyboard mode. And in order to get that kind of back and forth of hands that keyboards do, we do a chord in the right hand and then maybe a root or an octave in the left hand. So let's try that. I've got that chord here. Let's go to keyboard mode. And we're just going to play that low note, which is going to be this. Just a couple of these little small notes in there might go a long way. Let's try it out. You could even take those bottom notes and let's just take them down an octave as well. So we're going to duplicate them down here. Let's see if that's too much. Perfect. And then just play with the length of those notes, right? If they're a little shorter, sometimes you get a little bit of a funkier groove. But yeah, some tips for you to get keyboard-like sounds out of chord mode on your machine. So of course you can do this without a keyboard. I could be sitting somewhere with my Machine Plus and pulling off some of these keyboard type things just with the machine. So the next thing I would do is take this into my little break part. I'm just going to go and skip through that because I'm going to use the same kind of techniques that I just did here. So I'll fast forward to that. I'll just set this up right now, and then we'll just play a little bit of this piece at the end. I hope this was really useful for you because, man, I'm really digging the sounds of these drums. Thanks so much for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.